go to the F&M. I want to ask you an F&M question.
Absolutely.
Renward Ballz, my nephew told me that Renward been to the house and Ramona Farquharson been to the house. What's going on? Are we taking the nomination
we have had
from Renward?
A large number of qualified patriotic Bahamians offer themselves as aspiring candidates for the Free National Movement.
Do you think Ramona is more patriotic than decent Renward Ballz?
I did not make such a statement.
Okay.
What I did say is that we have almost 100 persons who have offered themselves to serve.
And they all attended the classes?
And the overwhelming majority of them did indeed. Okay. And so, we're going to have a difficult time choosing, because obviously at this point there are only 39 constituencies.
Okay.
And so if you got almost 100, then the majority of those persons who are offering will not have an opportunity to run.
To what extent the constituency will play a role?
We have made it very clear that the role of the Constituency Association and the executive will be considered and respected. Okay?
Okay.
But the process in the Free National Movement, as you may know from the time that you spent in the Free National Movement, is that the executive committee forms the candidate selection committee, and then after appropriate vetting, security vetting, financial vetting, ethical vetting, etc., will make a recommendation to the Central Council of the Free National Movement that will ultimately ratify after consideration of the opinion, often given in writing, by the executives of the Constituency Association. Now, some of whom have already expressed their views.
Okay. Now, you talk about security vetting. What do we mean by that?
Well, I mean, you have a series of local and international vettings to determine whether or not Dwayne Sands is a felon, whether or not he has committed a crime, either here or abroad, whether that's a financial crime, a violent crime, a commercial crime, etc. It is very, very important that candidates are appropriately vetted, and people agree that it is better that they undergo scrutiny prior to being nominated than after. Because once you have nominated, there's no turning back, eh?
What do we mean by ethic security?
I'm saying ethics. So is Rodney Muncar a person of high ethical standing? Is he somebody who, whatever buck up goes, or he is the kind of person who, adopts an approach to life and his dealings that is Christian-like? I mean, I guess that's the appropriate
Christian.
to make.
Well, certainly then.
And I use Christian in the generic sense of the term. Okay?
That's proper. We know that Renward Ballz is a born-again Christian. We know he's saved. We know he's sanctified. We know the church denomination that he was trained in. But in the case of the other person, there's no evidence that she's saved.
Well,
how would you determine?
What do you have against any other person who, and particularly since you're not a part of the Free National Movement, how would that fall before you?
Well, I just told you what my nephew said to me.
But who's your nephew?
I don't want to call his name.
Okay then, so he has no standing.
A voter.
Ultimately, somebody.
Are you saying to me that
anonymous,
a voter?
Somebody who is anonymous.
Hear me out. I don't want to call my nephew name.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
For family reason.
Okay.
He ain't say to me, now, Uncle, when you get on the TV, tell Dr. Dwayne Sands it's me. But I told you it's my nephew. And so I'm curious, I'm very curious because one, In the case of Renward Bell, he is my
See, I would dismiss
he's
this
my personal
information
friend.
as hearsay.
You could call it hearsay. And in my case, I know the young lady. She punched me before.
Did you deserve to be punched?
No,
You sure?
no, I didn't.
So,
I didn't deserve to be punched.
I think-
And
I
guess where
think-
she punched me? In my testicles.
I don't believe that,
And guess where I was standing when she punched me in my testicles?
Mr. Monco.
Guess where I was standing when she punched me in my testicle? In the front of the Supreme Court.
Then you could have brought up on charges for assault.
The police refused to do anything.
So they said you deserve to be punched.
They didn't say that.
So, look, I think it's very important in our country that any potential candidate on either side or on any side, since there's more than two political organizations vying for leadership of this country,
Right.
that all of the candidates, or as many of the candidates that are vying, are of high moral standard, that they are not bankrupt. That's a constitutional requirement, eh?
Okay.
And that they have the highest ethical standard, and that they are true patriots.
Okay. So would I be able to write the party and tell the party that on the day her client was acquitted for the murder of my first cousin's son, that she was so offended that she punched me in my testicle outside the Supreme Court?
How long ago was this alleged to have happened?
This happened in 2009 or 10.
So, according to my understanding of Bahamian law, the statute of limitations for lodging such a complaint has now expired.
I'm not talking about the police, I'm talking about the politics of the matter.
Right.
Because you talk about ethics. See, I know in the case of
so
Renward Bellz,
I would say,
I know
I
Renward
would
Bellz.
say that Mr. Monca now raising this matter 16 years after it was alleged to have happened
I've always raised that
must
on my
be
show.
playing politics.
No, I've always raised that. If you were to check my clips, every time she comes up, I give the story how she draw off and punch me in my testicles. You heard me?
I hear you.
After there were two clients, one she didn't represent, he got convicted, he got 25 years for the murder of my first cousin's son, Derek Davis' son, Cody Davis of Foxhill.
So it is my understanding then that you probably would not support her candidacy.
Not over Renward, because Renward Bellz has been kind to me.
But what makes you think that they are competing with each other?
Because that is what my nephew told me, who lived in the constituency.
But your nephew wouldn't know.
Well, he claims that she is campaigning
There
for
have
the
been
nomination.
aspiring candidates ratified for any constituency.
I didn't say ratify.
anywhere.
I didn't say ratify. I didn't say she was ratified.
So we have not allocated.
So you're not aware that she's interested in in Bamboo Town?
Any persons that are on the street for the Free National Movement now are undifferentiated, okay? Meaning that they have expressed an interest of carrying the banner of the Free National Movement. But any time between now and when decisions are made, John could go here, Sally could go there, Mary could go here, and so on and so forth.
Well, Ramona is in Bamboo Town. You heard it from me. Okay? Yeah. And I plan to challenge her nomination. And
On what standing?
I just told you what the woman did to me outside the
but
Supreme
what
Court.
standing do you have in the Free National Movement to challenge? You have no standing.
I have a standing.
You have no standing at all.
Just hear me out. While you may think I don't have any standing, you're the national chairman, right?
Yes.
Yeah. But there's a man.
I have the job that you were trying to get.
There's a man I deal with who's greater than you.
The Lord Almighty.
Who's
yes.
that? All right. And so all I'm saying is, as a citizen I think I have a right to oppose her. Now, you now say...
But you got to write me.
Well, you're not interested in that, so I'll have to talk to the people in Bamboo Town.
Okay.
That's the point I'm making.
All right.
Watch what I said.
No problem.
My nephew, who's aware of the assault upon me, immediately informed me, Uncle, guess who's down here campaigning?
Do you have any other persons that you have similar concerns for in the COI, in the PLP, or any other political organization?
Well, there is another person that
So
Yeah.
the gentleman
but
who
this one is personal.